morning sunrise. Hey. Ooh. Ooh. Who is Tiny Spice Spicy? Says I finally caught alive. Finally caught alive. We're in the building. I don't have my soundboard near me, but just imagine it's. Yeah, you waited too late. I didn't already started. I'm streaming. I want y'all to know my fiance is tired of y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, lighting looks. You finished?
I'm finished.
Good. Good. We can get to moving tonight. So go ahead and shut all that, shut all them computers off and stuff like that.
And you want to move this in there? I gotta charge the tools.
Just close off the computer and try to clear the desk. That's the main thing. We'll finish up in here and then.
Okay. I'm gonna shower and just go to bed probably. And go to bed. I'm gonna close my eyes. Wake me up when you're done.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, just close. Yeah, close it. Close the computer. I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we are live. Surprised you doing this, Dre? What you mean surprised I'm doing this? Yeah, shout out to everybody that showed up. That's Tiny Spicy Pickle. Let me double click the update. This is Augustus says, "Don't freak where you eat, kids." Chef Jay Green says, "Top 5 news guy right here." Dre said, "This doesn't seem like me." I'm not gonna lie. I've only heard bits and pieces of these different stories, but I had to cover this. Plus, this is a big week, and I do want to see because the timeline has not been the friendliest to me. This last video has not been the friendliest. I know we're gonna do some debates. I can already see it. So I'm curious as to what goes on. I'm curious. I forgot one place to. I forgot it's something to put there. Oh snap! Who just became a new member? Shouts out to Facial 75. Hold on. He's up. Facial 75 for becoming a new member. Welcome to O Block. Yeah, welcome to O Block. That's what I'm talking about. Shouts out to everybody that's popping up and populating. Go ahead, share those links. I got one more link to send. Every little thing you do just makes me smile. Yeah, make sure you share the links and stuff like that. Hold on, I got one more thing. Shout out to Facial 75. This was what Augustus said. There's not much to tell here. It is yet another story of a dude enamored with new booty. Yeah, that's sad. Yo, what's going on? What's going on with you? How was everybody's work week? I know. What's that? How that song go? Everybody's working for the weekend. We finally made it, y'all. If you got a job, be glad that you got a job. A lot of people don't have a job right now in this economy and this climate. So let's be thankful that we got a job. Sending out this link to one more place in space. And then we're gonna get the party rocking. Shouts out to everybody that's sticking through this god-awful version of lighting. Am I gaining baby weight? That's crazy to say. That's insane to say. Yeah, shouts out to y'all for sticking through this god-awful lighting. I am in the midst of transitioning rooms. I'm about to have a new little studio set up, new little light space. If you don't follow me on TikTok, or if you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram, it's Omeezy on all platforms. You'll get to see like the boredom in my life. Hello? Oh, okay. That's a parody account. Yeah, you'll get to see the boredom in my life. You'll get to see me do all these little different interactive things. You'll get to see me do a bunch of different stuff, share my other thoughts on a lot more than just a streamer space. Nacho Time says, do like this story is that one megachurch pastor who broke into the lady's house to stalk her because he was in love with her. I don't know that story. I would love to know that story more. Yeah, definitely follow me on the major platforms because that's where you're gonna get just the randomness, the random Twitter spaces, the random commentary about the different things going on. I've got a lot of takes, a lot of hot topics, a lot of funny stuff, a lot of interest. And then you can also see my late night shenanigans and activities. This is what I was doing last night at like I want to say like 1 a.m. I got me a little bit of a setup going here, but I wanted to show you this one here. Yeah, this room clearly doesn't have enough light just yet, but I'm just trying to see what I got going on. Welcome back to another episode of, you feel what I'm saying? This is 45 degrees. This is my main cam. This is my A cam. That's my B cam over there. So this is just a taste as to what I'm about to do. We need to start taking over the game more. Big echo. It's a crazy echo in the room. Oh, I don't know if you mean echo based off of like my microphone echo. No, it shouldn't be mine. It's echo in the room though. I will say that. All right. I don't want to beat around the bush anymore. Oh, echo off that video. Is it every video? Let me play one more video before we start so we can make sure that we're good to go. Because I do want to get into this grown man crashing out. Why is it that these grown black men...
Hi, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to do multicam editing in Adobe Premiere Pro. So I have these 4 clips. These each have audio attached to the clip. You can tell that.
Tell me how that sounded. Why is it that these grown black men cannot, for the life of them, keep their hands to themselves? Why can't they control their desires? Why can't they control everything that's going on? All right, yeah, just less. I mean, just echo off that one. Why are they so filled with like? It's gonna sound crazy, but insatiable lust. Like just an insane amount of lust for these young ladies, these young whippersnappers. You get a little bit of money, and I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Not saying that it's easy. You just get presented with a bunch of opportunity as you become more powerful, more successful, more famous. But you don't. That don't mean you got to do it. That's what a lot of people are doing. That's literally what a lot of people are doing. Is they're just taking advantage of it. And it seems like every year there's probably like 2 to 3 black men that just can't keep their hands off of some women. It's just the craziest thing in the world. All right. And some news we don't cover on this channel. And the only reason why we don't cover this type of stuff is because this is just insane. But it was so insane we had to cover it. University of Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore was fired and arrested and charged with an insane amount of criminal acts based off of his insatiable lust for some of that milk flesh, that milky flesh, Let's read this recap real quick. It's got that milky flesh. This is a recap of the Sherrone Moore scandal. This past summer, school investigators rumor Moore, who has a wife and 3 kids, is sleeping with an executive assistant. Moore is also investigated 2 more times by a university for alleged conduct with a woman. Sherrone allegedly slides into DMs of OnlyFans models on Instagram. Sherrone fires assistant on Monday. She comes forward to a university with proof of their relationship, leading to his firing on Wednesday. Moore breaks into her apartment, and that's where I'm going to stop it there. For those who don't know the story, breaks into her apartment and stops it right there. Rose up the ranks over the past couple years and became the first black head coach from Michigan University in 2024. And he's had this fall from grace because he can't keep his damn hands to his damn self. Where is it? Where's that video? Hello? Let me put it on this video. Just tab instead. Boom.
Well, we get to a developing story now on SportsCenter. Former Michigan coach Sherrone Moore appeared via video conference in a Michigan courtroom today. He has been charged with felony home invasion and misdemeanor counts of stalking and breaking and entering. Moore's bond has been set at $25,000. He's been in jail since Wednesday, hours after he was fired for having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member.
Let me tell y'all something. This is a different level of lack of self-control. Like, not only could he not control himself by not cheating on his wife with somebody, right? Cheating on your wife is one thing. DMing these OnlyFans models is another thing. But cheating on your wife with a subordinate, which we know is a big no-no in every sort of corporate environment, every sort of work environment, like, it don't even got to be corporate, but cheating on your significant other with a subordinate of yours is just totally off the limits. The power dynamic that is imbalanced there is insane. And the fact that you could not just go home to your wife, maybe beat your meat or something like that, I don't know, do something a little bit more productive, is crazy. Then you take it to the 10th level by breaking into the house.
Take a look at the timeline of events that led to the arraignment today. Moore fired as Michigan's coach just on Wednesday with cause for him having that inappropriate relationship. He was then arrested later that afternoon and charged with felony home invasion and the misdemeanors of stalking and breaking and entering. Let's bring in our college football insider now.
Yeah, you don't need no college football insider. You need a a mental health physician. Yeah, that was crazy. Now, I don't know if y'all know this. You actually can't have those types of relationships while being on campus. So that's why he was dismissed. He also was giving her salary increases. It's well documented that he was giving her salary increases. And this is why you can't do those types of things. You can't have those types of relationships, is because you are the boss in this situation. You have control, and they don't want your personal effects getting in the way of doing some sort of work. They don't want you and your work being disrupted because you're sticking your pee in her poo-poo, right? You're sticking your pee where the sun don't shine. And then all of a sudden you get a little bit happy. You're feeling her. She's feeling you. She's freaking you in the office, real taboo type stuff. And then all of a sudden you click on the payroll. Sherrone Moore's story gets even crazier. Moore gave the girl he was cheating on his wife with a 55% increase in pay out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know another way to shape this. That's going to send red flags to everybody when 55% of pay gets increased. He wasn't even trying to hide what's going on. Look at this. Change from last fiscal year, 55%. She went from making $58,000 to almost six figures as an administrative specialist. He didn't even try to shuffle in more responsibilities. He didn't try to change titles. He didn't try to do anything. She went from making $58,000 in year one of her being hired. Year two of her being hired, she made $58,000. And then all of a sudden, smack brought her all the way to the top. Not yes, it's got to be the most fire in the world. He didn't bring her up to 75 and then 80. He could have went year over year increase and it would have made more sense. But the only way that you can get a 55% increase on your salary in a year is two things. One, you change jobs, which makes a lot of sense. Maybe she was the new D-line coach or the new special teams coach. That's when it would have made sense. Or two, you doing mouth stuff, pee stuff, and you doing butt stuff. That's the only way you could get a 55% increase. That's the only way that you can get a 55% increase. Man, Hall of Fame slop. That's what was going on in them offices, boy. Wow, this is actually like not even, I'm laughing, but this man needs help. This man needs help. Hold on. Let me play this TikTok.
University of Michigan head football coach went from this to this in one day. Let me tell you what happened. Sherrone Moore has been a part of the University of Michigan football family for a minute. He helped lead them to a national championship. And when head coach Jim Harbaugh left to go coach in the NFL for the Chargers, he took over his spot. So yesterday, the news breaks that Sherrone Moore is fired from being the head coach of Michigan for cause, which means that they don't have to pay him. He signed a 5-year deal with Michigan in 2024 and made over $6 million this year. So that's a big bag he fumbled yesterday.
No, the big bag.
Reason for his firing, he was sleeping with his coworker. And to make matters worse, sorry, let me give you the official text. He was having an inappropriate relationship with a Michigan staffer. No. To make matters even worse, allegedly this staff member was his executive assistant who had a 55% increase in her salary over the course of 1 year. You see here, it's public information. From 2023 to 2024, she was making $58,000 a year. And then in 2024, 2025, this year, she was making $90,000. This man has been married for a decade with 3 children, daughters, mind you, that are all under the age of 10 years old. And his last daughter was born last summer.
No, he's terrible.
On ESPN this morning. I'm not saying it's the most reliable source in the world, but I wanted to hear what their lead reporters had to say. And they said that Michigan knew about this months ago. They had HR investigate and they couldn't find any evidence that he was sleeping with a coworker, right? Now some damning evidence came into the fold where they had to fire him. Now, this part is alleged. I got this from the internet, but it makes sense to me. Allegedly, he impregnated his executive assistant.
All right, and that's what we and that's where we stop right there. And that's where we stop right there. I'm hoping that is alleged, but that's where we lose the plot. Cuz you can't even control yourself. Y'all gotta really envision how stupid this is. And I know we've got some cheaters in the chat. Shouts out to the cheaters in the chat. I know we got some cheaters in the chat. But think about this. You have a job that pays $30 million. $30 million over the course of like 5 years or so. Apparently like $5-6 million a year. You have a wife that you've been married to. You've got 3 kids under the age of 10. Every single one of those 3 kids is under the age of 10. One is 10 and then down and then down and then down. Right? And then you go ahead and you get this executive assistant. And again, not only do you not, I'm sorry. Not only are you DMing somebody, having some sort of side thing, not only are you having sexual relations with a subordinate, not only are you giving her pay increases, making this obvious, not only are you stepping out on your wife who you have 3 kids with, you built a relationship with, life with, not only are you Michigan's first black coach and you slipping up, but now allegedly you can't even cheat with a condom. You're so silly that you can't even cheat with a condom. I mean, that just doesn't even line up. If you're gonna have some sort of sexual encounter with a young woman, then you need to make sure that you at least, at bare minimum, wrap it up. Full stop. Wrap it up. Put her on birth control. You got the power in this situation. Use your power. You're powerless when you're in the vagina? That escapes me. That is so silly that escapes me.
And I don't know how true this part is, but allegedly he forced her into an abortion, and maybe that's what led him to double her salary. That's all speculation. Now, apparently, when he found out that there was a coaches only meeting happening without him, which means he was about to get fired, he had an argument with his wife where he threatened to hurt himself.
Well, hold on. We'll get into that in 2 seconds. We'll get into that one in 2 seconds. We'll get into that in 2 seconds. So this is where everything goes off the wagon. This is where everything goes off the wagon, and we might reference her situation. So he gets fired. He gets fired. Coach is only meeting. He understands that he gets fired. He starts tweaking out. He starts like flipping and all this other stuff like that. He starts tweaking out. This is a recording from TMZ Sports. They've obtained dispatch audio from the alleged Sherrone Moore assault after he argued with his wife and ran. He didn't get in the car. He ran to his executive, Paige Shivers, which we're not going to show her face on this platform. I think that's distasteful. When some of these people do that type of stuff, I know people want to either make fun of her or out her, but I know right now what she's going through is crazy. But allegedly, he ran to her house. And this is the dispatch call for this bozo, Sherrone Moore. Is it top of her head? I'm trying to not show the top of her head, but
561-5530 for domestic. Subject just called the caller, told her there's a male at the location and the house attacking her. State's been stalking her for months.
White female said male is attacking her and been stalking her for months because he ran to her house and tried to go insane with her. Now, the reason why we know the full details as to what happened is because he went to court. He's recently been to court. And this is the court description of what happened when Sherrone got there and what he got charged with.
As we all now know, defendant was at some point on Wednesday afternoon fired from his employment. He then, at some point soon thereafter, came to her apartment in the address that is alleged in the complaint, barged his way into that apartment, immediately then proceeded to a kitchen drawer, grabbed several butter knives and a pair of kitchen scissors, and began to threaten his own life.
Let me say this, and this is how you know he's just so dramatic, but he's also like not right in the head. This is gonna sound crazy. Getting butter knives to try to end your life or claim that you're gonna end your life is the most dramatic response ever. I don't even understand what you could have done, because it almost seems like, and I can almost guarantee you without knowing anything, he tried to say to her like, oh, you ruined my life. This thing happened. This ruined my life. But you're the only one to blame because you have a lack of self-control. So now you're showing up to this young girl's house who allegedly you got pregnant, who allegedly you forced her to get an abortion. And now you're trying to threaten your own life because your wife found out that you got fired. Your school found out that you was cheating. So you had to get terminated out of employment. Your wife found out as well. So I'm pretty sure that relationship is totally shot. And now you're sitting here holding a butter knife to your neck. Thinking that somebody's going to take you seriously. And you just need to be accountable for your actions. Hey, I messed up. But now you're trying to put a show on. And I want you to know the whole world knows now. Sherrone, I know you're not seeing this live stream, but I know the world knows now that you are a clown, brother.
I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands.
My blood
You've ruined my life. And a series of very, very threatening, intimidating, terrifying, quite frankly, statements and behaviors there.
Bad for the face.
It was only then, Your Honor, when the victim, she called her attorney and then at some point indicated she was going to call the police, and then he left. And so, Your Honor, while I understand that there isn't evidence to suggest that he directly threatened the victim with any of those implements that I've indicated, the totality of the behavior is highly threatening and highly intimidating. She was terrorized, Your Honor. And in light of the totality of all of those circumstances, we consider a risk to public safety, a risk to this victim. And it's for those reasons that we are asking for those specific conditions. I'm more than happy to answer any other questions that the court may have, or give you further information. I appreciate it.
And what the judge is making, or what the attorney there is making the claim for, is that he doesn't be released. He doesn't need to be released. There doesn't need to be any sort of bond or bail, that he stays in this situation. Um, he was charged with felony home invasion, misdemeanor stalking, and illegal entry. Um, and I believe that she's actually right. Like, she's 1,000% right in this situation. 1,000% right in this situation. Now, it's nasty, because he ultimately posted bond. He posted a $25,000 cash bond. He has to wear a GPS tether, which is one of them little ankle monitors with the box in your room. Shouts out to the 200 people in here. And then he has to stay away from the victim. But the problem is that, not that he threatened her life. Hell, he didn't even threaten his own life, because a butter knife can't do any sort of damage to you. It's all performative. We all know that. He's just trying to show up and show out. But, and I know it's like some social media trope that goes on. That's a manipulation tactic, when these people come to you and act as if they are going to end their lives. They're going to harm themselves. They're going to do something crazy. They're going to do something wild because you did something to them. And the only way that they'll stop is if you follow their sorts of behaviors, or whatever the case may be. If you follow their commands, then that's when they are able to do those things. And I think the reason why he was able to get some sort of bond is because, he didn't technically threaten her life. He didn't physically harm her in any sort of way, shape, form, or fashion. But what I don't like about this situation at all, because I feel like he should be, strapped up. That man is a danger to society. Nobody runs to somebody's house, forces their way in, illegal entry, grabs butter knives, and does all that stuff like that. Nobody does those things if they're not any sort of like danger to society. If they're not, like, they don't do that if they're not a danger to society. And interpersonal violence is so high in this country. Interpersonal violence is insanely high. And we're talking about people in relationships that ultimately end up harming each other. Let me show you guys what this is. Interpersonal violence, IPV, is using power and control over someone through physical, sexual, emotional, or economic abuse or threats, often by a known person like a partner, causing fear, harm, or control. It includes acts like stalking, domestic violence, harassment, and financial abuse, where the perpetrator uses coercive tactics to demean, isolate, and harm the victim's safety and well-being. And anybody that's liable to run to somebody's house, I'm sorry, he's liable to end somebody's life. He's liable to end somebody's life, and I'm willing to go that far, because that's actually crazy. That there's nothing like not insane about anything like that. Let me see some. I want to look this up real quick. I don't want to look at DV. I want to look at interpersonal violence statistics in the U.S. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience IPV/DV in their lifetime. Women experience higher rates of severe IPV, including gun violence, and young women 18 to 24 are most at risk. While the presence of a gun in a DV situation increases homicide risk by 500%. Yeah, no, this is a disservice to this young lady. But wait, there's more. So apparently, because all of it's out there on Front Street now, the Instagram models that he was DMing are starting to get active on the TLs, on the timeline. This is from Fear Buck. Ex-Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore allegedly slid into OF model Mia Soretti's DM, according to her. He also follows dozens of other OF and IG models, and he once posted that he attended a party hosted by Diddy. Sherrone Moore was fired over allegations of inappropriate contact. Look at this man right here. James T. Yoder says, fuck Sherrone Moore. And then Mia Soretti says, I wasn't surprised. He was all in my DMs trying to risk it all with an OF model. Yeah, that's no sort of self-control no sort of decorum, not even a level of secrecy at this point, because he's not an old man. Somebody said said that they didn't know that he was so young. That man is 39 years old. He is a 39-year-old man. It's not like he doesn't know these things, but Instagram followings are clear as day. And word of the wise to the young men out there that are listening to this live stream, if you are married, if you are engaged, if you are any of those things, there's no reason for you to be following any sort of OnlyFans models. It's just that simple. He's not even in the business to be following OnlyFans models. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Let's keep going down in this story. Now, I do want to let the freaky uncles get an opportunity, because from one freaky uncle to another, we get to hear Shannon, Uncle Freaky Sharpe, talk about his brother Sherrone Moore, somebody who has also lost a lot of money in this situation. Literally a bunch of the unks get together and have a unk powwow.
You never think a situation like this can happen to you, even though you're doing what you've heard about. Nah, this is going to be different. She ain't like that. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to get out. Don't nobody know but her and I, blah, blah, blah. And I can imagine 6-7 months ago, I went through something very similar. So I know what that storm is like.
Yes, sir.
And unless you've been in it, that's why when people say, this is what I would do, you don't know what you would do.
Yeah.
Shannon, I'm going to be honest with you, gang. I know what I would do. I know for a fact I'm not running down to her house, breaking into her house, forcing entry into her house, and then grabbing butter knives and sticking butter knives to my neck, talking about I'm going to end my life. The blood is on your hands. I know I'm not going to do that. If Omeezy gets to the point where he is world-class famous, y'all are seeing me on magazines, y'all are seeing me on late night, y'all are seeing me on all this. Omeezy starts stepping out with a young white girl, which off top is crazy. And Omeezy gets caught. Let me tell you this right now. Omeezy is not going to that young woman's house running. You know how mad you got to be to run to somebody's house and still be mad? This is my challenge for everybody that's listening to this recording right now. After this, tomorrow morning, Saturday, we don't know the distance from the house, but just take a quarter of a mile. Run a quarter of a mile and see if you still mad. See if you still got that level of emotion. Shannon, I'm not running to nobody's house. Omeezy is not running to nobody's house, forcing my way and getting butter knives. And the blood is on your hand. I'm not doing that, gang.
Until you in it. Until you in that pressure cooker. Until you in the eye of the storm.
Yes, sir.
Until you in. Ocho, you and I have had a conversation. So
yes,
I know.
Mm-hmm.
To be in that storm.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
to know everybody know everything that you worked your entire life for.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it like it's crumbling right before your eyes.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all are funny.
And the only people that's gonna be there, is gonna be a select few. It's gonna be a select few. That's the hardest part.
Oh my God.
I mean, everybody look. It's kind of look, and I understand the situation. But if you're married and you engage in an inappropriate relationship, why would you do that? You married. See, everybody always say, well, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that?" Well, if you thought you was gonna get caught, if you thought something was gonna go wrong, you wouldn't do it.
Right.
The same reason you speed. If you thought you was gonna get caught, you think you would speed? No. Unless you're a kleptomaniac, you're not gonna steal. You know, klepto just can't help it. But some people, you don't shoplift, you don't steal stuff, and you think you'll get caught. That's why a lot of people, most robberies happen at night. You got the veil of darkness because I don't want to get caught. I don't want to be seen.
Maybe he's a serial gooner.
Same thing. Why you creep? Most times, when the creeping take place at night. Boy, a college professor told me, say the night has 1,000 eyes, and on most nights it has 1,002 because somebody sees you.
Oh yeah, I'm writing that down, boy. That's a good one, that boy.
Let me tell you how silly this is. You got Ocho Cinco. Ocho Cinco is clowning in the middle. He is clowning in the middle. He's having a great time. Shannon Sharpe is going through it because he done had a reminisce flashback 4 or 5 times in this setting. And then for whatever reason, you got Joe Johnson here. I don't know. Why is Joe Johnson on this? Why in the world is Joe Johnson sitting there to the right?
Say the night has 1,000 eyes?
On most night it has 1,002 because somebody sees you.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to use that in conversation.
I'm going to say this, and maybe there's more to this. I hate the way that these older men are holding these other men accountable. Like, you had an obligation to your wife and you had an obligation to your kids. You got an obligation to do best by them through sickness and through health, through rich and through poor, through better or through worse. And you did the worst thing. And the way that they talk about this, and I see this right here. Says, wait, is the only reason to not do something is the consequences. It's never really holding an accountability from the perspective of like, yo, bro, like you broke your vows. You were sloppy and you got crazy out in the wild and you did all this, that, and the third thread. This is a totally different level, but you just like totally disrespected your household and your family. I mean, totally. This would be so different if he just cheated. If he just cheated, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. I think Michigan is like an 18th ranked team right now in the nation. It wouldn't be nothing. But you went all the way to the moon with it. You did crazy stuff.
And then the other report that came out that he was arrested and things that, some things escalated.
Damn.
Shannon having flashbacks, y'all. Y'all know that, right?
That old hoo-ha, boy.
Yo,
hey,
it's undefeated.
Get Joe Johnson off the stage.
Think about Samson and Delilah, David and Bathsheba.
It made a fool of us all, though, at some point.
No, it did not. Ocho, it did not make. I'm telling y'all right now, Coochie ain't never made me want to take nobody's life. Yeah, it's never made me want to take nobody's life. And I want to, and that's kind of what I want to get across in this too. Is like, he's not a victim. In no way, shape, form, or fashion, he is not a victim. Coochie is just so hard. Opportunity is just so hard. The nighttime gives you this. The nighttime gives you that. The opportunity to do this. None of that really is like landed on me. It's not resonating with me for real, because at the end of the day, if you just don't step out of bounds on your relationship and then don't break into somebody's house, wear a condom, allegedly got her pregnant, all these things. If you just do all these things, you will be okay. Play a little bit more of this.
In some way, shape, form, or fashion.
The lack of
One of the most powerful things, one of the most powerful things on earth.
Boy, that's a hell. There's some people I don't hate anybody, but there's a few people I really have a strong disliking for. I wouldn't wish what I went through on them.
So all of a sudden, because this man got, that's what, do y'all hear? Am I over? Tell me if I'm over thinking this right here. But the way that they are shaping it is he's a victim of some good pussy. Am I tripping? The way that they're framing this is Sherrone Moore is a victim of some really, really, really good pussy. And all of a sudden it just made him do whatever. and now he's having to suffer the consequences. But that's not what happened. We saw what happened. What are we talking about? We saw what happened. Buddy is sitting here because he can't control. He is sitting at home. Maybe he's at home with an ankle monitor, a GPS tracker behind him, his wife pacing back and forth, all this stuff like that. Because he cheated on his wife, because he went and threatened a young woman, because he disrespected his kids, because he disrespected his job. And all of a sudden, he a victim of having good pussy on him. Somebody said they're not framing it like that. We tripping.
I wouldn't. Boy, it was tough.
Good pussy tough?
Boy, it was some days that all I had was not you, Ocho, and Joe. My family. That was it. Nobody else was there. All the phone calls, the people used to call and, hey, how you doing? What's up?
Okay, he projecting right now. That's what's going on.
I think that was besides that, yeah, it was embarrassing. But I think that was the toughest part.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
That people that you thought would always be in your corner, all of a sudden they weren't there. And I just remember my brother calling me every day, like, man, tell me a joke. Maybe like, hey, I know you got some story. Tell me what Papa used to do in this situation. What would Papa say? What would Granny say? What would this? He was always trying to pick me up. He said, nah, bro. He called Shelly. How's he doing today, Shelly? Like, he ain't doing good. He called. My sister called. Bucket called. I think the hardest thing was when Bucket called him crying.
Yeah, he kind of reminiscent. We Tiny Spicy Pickle say it was the whole episode. He over here reminiscing. I get it. They def framing it like that. He is not a victim because he overly a horn dog. That's a fact. You got two super gooners telling each other, chill. I do think that it's I'm sorry, that was so funny. I do think that it's interesting because Monique was saying, like, to Shannon Sharpe, yo, if you are sitting here and you're like this, then you need to get a old fat girl. You need to get a woman. You need to get whatever. Oh, come on now. They putting 10 on it now. Sherrone Moore was allegedly DMing an OnlyFans model at halftime of this year's Ohio State game. Come on now. You cannot get more gooned out than that. You cannot get more gooned out than that. Super gooner. Could you imagine sitting halftime at the game, bricked up? You crazy bricked up because yeah, I'm just Monique told Shannon Sharpe you need to get you. What is going on with her? What's it called? Shannon Sharpe. I don't even think I could show this video. I'm gonna show it just to see what we can get away with. But what's it called? Monique told Shannon Sharpe that it's you need to get you an old fat girl, you need to get married because you won't be doing all this X, Y, and Z. And Sherrone Moore is showing clear as day, like that stuff doesn't even matter. It's clear that no moral obligations will stop you from doing what you're destined to do. And if you're gonna goon, you're gonna goon. If you are going to be a gooner, you are going to be a gooner. Hold on, we actually have the DMs. We got the DMs from Sherrone Moore. Let me add this right here, and then we'll move on to the next thing. We got some DMs from Sherrone Moore to that woman, Mia Soretti. And if you haven't seen Mia Soretti's page, I definitely can't show Mia Soretti's page on YouTube. TOS. Super TOS. Look at her description. Certified distraction. may cause excessive scrolling. Hey, yo, and he couldn't help but tap in. Sherrone Moore contacted OnlyFans model Mia Soretti on Instagram after his release from jail. In the message, Moore blasted Soretti for discussing her story and past experiences with him. She wishes to keep the exact contents of the messages redacted, but intends to share them at a later date. This is incredibly bizarre behavior in the immediate aftermath of the release from jail. Oh my gosh, at the game, he can't control himself. Who this in the background? Who that in the back? Who that in the back? So you got your assistant there. You got your OF fan there that you've been DMing. And you got your wife in the stands. Yeah, you're crazy, gang. Right after he comes out of jail. This is at 5:50 p.m. He turned on the disappearing messages as if she can't screenshot. This guy can't help himself. Sorry, this guy can't help himself. If we were doing an award show, he would be Gooner of the Year. He would be Gooner of the Year. He can't even help himself at this point. I have nothing else to say on Sherrone Moore. You're so gooned out that you leave jail and immediately go to saying what I'm going to assume. And this is stuff like this. And not even trying to be funny. Stuff like this is why I was saying earlier that he doesn't need to be released. He doesn't need to be released. Well, hold on. Maybe if he has some release, he wouldn't be in this problem. Maybe if he released, he wouldn't be in this problem. But no, all jokes aside, this is why he doesn't need to be released, is because immediately following you leaving prison, you decide to go ahead and go crazy on the OnlyFans model that you were DMing. I think that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. And if I'm the police, I would hope that the police would be able to go and pick him up or whatever the case may be. Yeah, that was a bad joke. Somebody say he needs to be. Look. Augustus said that was a bad joke. Jeremy said he needs to be released more. Come on, bro. Okay, I'm moving on to the next topic, but I do want to show y'all something. And I just don't know how I feel about this. Let me see something real quick. I'm gonna insert an ad real quick. Let's see what happens. Yeah, take that. Get that. For those that didn't get the ad, because I don't think everybody gets the ad. I really don't even know how ads work on YouTube Live. Let me ask y'all a question. How did y'all feel about when I was making videos specifically pertaining to what's it called? When I was making videos and pertaining to those teachers and the dress that they wore, all that stuff like that. Because I want to show y'all something. And I have not doubled back on these teachers dressing inappropriately in this content, because there's an unprofessionalism epidemic that's going on. And I just feel like this is getting out of hand. People are so addicted to social media that it's causing them to do just unprofessional shit at work. Sherrone Moore is a perfect example. Shannon Sharpe is a perfect example. But these teachers that are dressing a certain provocative way and then posting it all on their social media platforms, we keep giving it excuses every single time. But I'm sorry, gang. I cannot brush it off to the side. I cannot brush it off to the side. Let me put the Mallory brothers in this title. I can't think of a title right now off the top of my head that would be good enough for YouTube, but we're going with it. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all this, and then we're gonna go into the Mallory brothers conversation about Kai Cenat. And then we'll also open up the floor for the Qs and the A's, because I know that some people may want to come up for the Qs and the A's. This guy, Sherrone Moore, man. I just have. All right. So these videos about this teacher have been going viral. And I think the reason why people aren't talking about her, and this is what we talked about in this video about maybe the petiteness could be skewing, or maybe size is also affecting how people view these teachers. Elementary school art teacher.
Here's what I wanted to teach my elementary art.
These are the fits that she uses, that she wears for the elementary school. Seen the comments, gooned out. Attractive woman. We don't have to lie. Attractive woman. But it's interesting that when she wears this tight fitted dress, sometimes she has the cover up on, sometimes she doesn't, or whatever the case may be. But she has a tight fitted dress, and the way that she is, gallivanting around the classroom, people have not commented about it being inappropriate or not being inappropriate, as compared to the other teachers that we've talked about on this platform or the other platforms before that. Right? She's covered, period. And I see that being a thing. When it was tight-fitted dresses on those other teachers, though, people have had problems in conversation. And I'm a fan for, in this specific regard, keeping some level of consistency, because we're talking about appropriateness in the workplace and space. I don't know if, and I'm going to show it in the next, slide or whatever. What kind of pants are those? That's different. I guess she has another account. She has another social media account, where, I mean, her outfits, are taking a different shape. Let's just put it like this. This is the outfit in question, and based off of this photo right here, you can kind of just see that skirt is a high skirt. That's a high skirt. There is I'm gonna put it together. But if y'all thought all them other teachers needed to be fired, this teacher as well needs to be on that same type of time. That's a little bit disingenuous right there. Somebody said we need sources, gang. No. Jay Kellen says, I don't like the precedent it sets because it hinders naturally curvy women, cough, black women, the most, and that's not fair. That's a fact. All right. So I don't know how many people actively tap into the Mallory Bros podcast and platform. It's decent. I heard a couple episodes before. It's a decent platform. But so this is stemming from the Streamer Awards drama. There has been so much drama surrounding the Streamer Awards in the big 2025. And it seems like everybody has nitpicked every single thing from it. And I will say, if you are getting this much criticism, if you are getting this much pushback, if you are getting this much talk, apparently somebody's doing something right. And so in Kai Cenat's speech, he said that he wants to get into acting. He wants to get into all these different things, which I know, historically speaking, he's always wanted to get into these things. The Mallory Bros did not like that.
Y'all see Kai Cenat when he got his award? It was very telling what he said. He said, I have goals to be a fashion designer and have my own fashion brand. I have goals to write and direct movies. Okay. I told Terrell, it seemed like watching like a fifth grader talk about what they want to be when they grow up. And this is no slight to bruh. But the reason why I talk about these streamers in this way is your goals don't even align with what you're doing now. Your goals are the same goals as everybody starting from zero, which to me make me feel like streaming is your launch pad. When you look at these people that get famous for one thing, and then they get up there and say, I want to do that or that, or I think I want to go this way. It's not that we don't know if you grew up and wanted to do that, right? But it does call into question what you're passionate about. Do you want to get into acting because you're passionate about being a part of these projects? Or do you want to get into acting because it's the best thing to do with your status? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the best thing for you to do next. And you have status now, so you might as well take your status and sell a movie ticket. That's always been a recipe for people. Oh, I think I'm gonna go into movies. Now that I'm famous, I'm gonna go and be a movie. And you know what that's called? That's called gatekeeping the art. And
I'm a pause it right here because they're about to get into the gatekeeping the art conversation, and I think it's again, I still think it's very interesting. The thing that I don't like about this commentary, and it specifically pertains to Kai Cenat, but then I'll go into the larger conversation. But if you know about Kai Cenat's past, if you know about how he came up doing skits. He came up doing pranks. He came up doing all these types of he didn't come up doing reaction videos, and he didn't come up doing things like that. Like even in these videos right here, I'm on his actual YouTube channel, his regular YouTube channel. And this is from 7 years ago. Texting my friend's ex-girlfriend, prank gone wrong. This is acting. This is him acting in this situation. All of them are acting.
See here, go to my most recent video, smash the like button, make sure you click the subscribe button, and this is the most important part to being shouted out, is clicking my bell. After you're done doing
this is crazy. This is the way YouTubers used to have to get it out the mud, gang. That's crazy. Yeah, this is him acting. This is acting.
It'll come like man. Nigga hands, man. Ass you shit. Bro, nigga, it's the cold nigga move, bro.
This is acting. So I don't understand how you can like jump to the conclusion that he doesn't, specifically when the acting thing, we can get into the other stuff. Specifically when it comes to the acting, how can you jump to the conclusion that he's not like passionate about it when foundationally he started off acting? Now, is it in the traditional sense? No. Is he coming up from these schools where it's acting? Is he coming up from going to Juilliard or perfecting the craft? No. And I think that could be a valid criticism. Are you going to acting classes? Are you doing the research? Are you studying? What are you doing to become a better actor before you just throw yourself into acting? Because oftentimes they just allow celebrities, because of a face card, to get these different opportunities. That's fine. I think that may be a better criticism. But he's passionate about acting, and everything is a launch pad. But I want to get into their main criticism about the gatekeeping the art thing.
Guess what? The people that say, why can't she just do what she want? Why can't people just do what they want? Why can't they do it all? Because they be producing bullshit. And that's the thing. Y'all will be the same motherfuckers. And I'm going to say y'all because if you listen to this, you probably don't do that, right? Because we're all cool. Or maybe it is your motherfucking But the people that do that, y'all be the main ones that want to hop on the TL and say some shit is dying when you just let all bullshit into it. We allow so much shit in and then want to get mad that it's what it is, but you let all the bullshit But you let it all in. When people try to gatekeep and say, hey, don't get into it if you're not passionate. Y'all go, why she can't do this? Why are we holding them back? This motherfucker need to prove that they're gonna be passionate about it to do it. We're not saying you can't Why do they have to prove to you? Who are you for them to prove to? And then look, we shut up, you're right. So you took away all your value as a consumer and you're just willing to accept anything, basically. Y'all see
the problem that I have with that specific end portion is it almost says as though like that when these people who are disingenuous in the space, which I can agree to, when they hop in the space, that's the only thing that is about the space. But there are still real musicians, real poets, real actors, real clothing brand designers. They're all still out there. They're all still out there. We live in a day and age in which the barrier of entry has significantly lowered for everything, full stop. That means, though, that more talented people and more passionate people are also getting into the space, along with a bunch of negative people. But you're getting more of the people who are talented, more of the people who are passionate. One of the Mallory brothers did speak on this. It says, this tweet is picking up steam and it's a great convo, but I need to clarify. Even though this convo was centered around Kai, it wasn't a conversation about being frustrated with him pursuing acting. This caption was misleading. This conversation is more about some creators feeling the itch to do everything more and challenging if there's a real passion behind that motor or just a craving for a bigger buzz. The conversation is bigger than Kai. And again, I can agree with some of that sentiment. I can agree with some of that sentiment, and we can ultimately look into the full episode to see if there's more context. I don't think that there's more context, but I do want to play or read Legend of Winning's tweet. It says, this is some loser shit to say. Putting limitations on someone that you do not know is nothing but insecurities. You only have one life. It's better to fail than to not try. We can't help that there's a society that's set up that wants to see like familiar faces, right? There's always going to be people who have familiarity in the different spaces that get propped up and, you know, have the opportunity, et cetera, et cetera. But the problem is that doesn't mean that those people can't get better, because I think that that's also a portion of the conversation. Art is also supposed to be fun, so people should be able to try things, fail, get better, do different, bow out, all that stuff. I think everybody in here has tried to make a song at one point in time. Everybody's in here probably tried to rap a little bit. Everybody's in here tried to play a little music. I know the new one in 2025 is everybody's bought a camera before, try to record some videos, try to do a little bit of lighting, you know, try to make a little movie. When you were playing with your little cousins or brothers or sisters when you were kids, y'all ran around and y'all acted. Y'all played a little role. We played house or whatever the case may be. The problem with this limiting nature, though, is that you may miss the birth of somebody who could excel in the space. You may miss the birth of somebody who can very much excel in the space. I do want to, like, there's situations. Let me say this. We've got Kai Cenat's live stream with Drewski and stuff like that, where they talked about making movies.
Kev, open the gate! This is a big ass crib.
Oh, fuck, man! That is a handmade vase.
Vase?
It's a fucking vase, you broke ass niggas.
Kev, what?
Look natural. We're gonna get rid of the body. Fuck!
What the?
Listen, it's a period sinker.
I ain't doing it!
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Kevin, you gonna ruin my career, bro.
Listen, man, I'm the only nigga in here with something to lose.
And you can't tell me that, like, I think there was a better way to have this conversation than the way that they went about doing this. Kai has also directed some of the, like, a Boogie with the Hoodie movie, or I'm not sorry, music video. He's displayed his creative endeavors. It's gonna sound like I'm about to glaze for a second, but he's displayed creativity multiple different times.
30 days, 24/7. Like that's insane.
This time, we're going for 1 million subscribers.
Oh, that's crazy.
This is him doing the Mafiathon 3 trailer. This is the Streamer University trailer.
Oh, we gotta be the fairy tale. Let's go.
Next, Universal. You guys, you'll see. Streamer University.
This is the Mafiathon 2.
Listen. What's Mafiathon?
But so it's not like he hasn't been practicing these things on a smaller scale, honing the craft on a smaller scale. So even that one falls kind of flat on Kai. if he wants to say it wasn't about, I think that's fine still. Ultimately, though, the only way for people to even find out if they have a passion is through experience. Whether that be somebody showing them, their experience, whatever the case may be, or them actually doing that experience. There's no way that you can expect somebody to go ahead and get their feet wet if they don't actually do and don't actually try. Now, granted, that means there's going to be a lot of pee in the pool. It's going to be a lot of trash out there. Full stop, 100%. I can agree with that wholeheartedly, without a shadow of a doubt. There's a lot of trash in there. But that does not mean that this person should be discouraged from trying because they don't automatically have the passion off rip for it. Those that don't have the work ethic, those that don't have the wherewithal, those that don't have the balls, they'll die. They'll die out. We don't even got to worry about them, gang. We don't even have to worry about them. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about, on any given day, they make thousands of YouTube channels. They make thousands of YouTube channels on any given day. I'm not ever worried about any of them because I know half of them going to die the next day. The next day, another half of them is going to die. And the day after that, another half of them is going to die. But I'd rather somebody, end up not failing or end up failing by trying than failing by not trying. Full stop. I put the link down in the chat. It's time for us to open up the floor. Got a little bit of time. Open up the floor for a little bit of debate, a little bit of commentary, a little bit of having conversations. Bring a topic to the floor. We can discuss it. We can react to it. I'll let you know if I want to avoid it or not. I'll answer all these though. I ain't gonna lie. I want to talk about Sydney Sweeney too so bad. Oh, God. And clavicular. But yeah, I want to open up the floor. I've made a bunch of videos over the past month, 2 months, or whatever the case may be, and would love to give people the opportunity to come up. Hey, I disagree with what you said. I agree with what you said. Are you going to do a conversation about this? Are you going to do a conversation about that, et cetera, et cetera? Yo, this is It's Your Boy.
What's good?
How you doing?
That's all good, man. I appreciate your videos. For the most part, I honestly agree with them. I guess I'll start with go down the docket each one. We talk about Sherrone Moore and all that. The Goondemic is at an all-time high, gang. It's crazy. I mean, everybody horned up. I've seen videos where people working at Amazon, right? Walking up, drop off package because I already got the point at the hub already shown on delivery doorstep camera. Doom scrolling at work is crazy work.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened back in the old days where if you got to release the poison, just head on to your room, knock this shit out, and then get back to being normal.
It's the ease of access and the normality of sex in the US. Apparently, your mic is real staticky. They're saying in the chat.
Oh, sorry.
Try to refresh and then come back.
All right.
Let me bring up Ricky while we wait. Ricky, how you doing?
Hello? Yes, finally. Finally, because I remember Wednesday, bro, I cannot hear y'all.
That's crazy.
But gotta say, okay, so pretty much with the last guy, he is right. This year, it is like a, goon, like pandemic, I guess you can call it. Everyone gooned out, and especially with this guy from Michigan. What's his name again?
Sherrone Moore.
Sherrone Moore. Bro, that dude crashed out, like super crashed out. And then, I don't know, it's just crazy to me. It's just like a goon-demic going on right now.
Yeah, and I wish people would take the violence portion a little bit more seriously. TikToker Girl La who is a popular social media influencer, got murdered by her boyfriend earlier this year.
Oh my God.
This
Really?
year. Yeah, because and mind you, the writing was on the wall. There were some conversations on social media. They what's it called? They I mean, in the TikToks, they did TikToks together, and the boyfriend was really, really overly aggressive. Ultimately, ended Girl Lala's life, and didn't even hide it. Admitted to it, all that stuff like that. But we just don't take interpersonal violence seriously. The signs be there. We make jokes and kikis about them and stuff like that. And it's not a unserious matter. It's very serious.
And I totally agree with you with like pretty much everything you just said. It is like a very like serious moment, and then like I guess like online, especially on Twitter, on Instagram, everyone just be like joking around, but then in real life, uh, and then like just like be something like serious that's like going on.
Yeah, 100%, 100,000%. Did you have any disagreements from recent videos? Anything to debate?
And are we talking about like your personal channel or on the pod?
What from the pod do you disagree with? I might entertain it.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You be talking about cheating way too much. Just way too much. I don't know why, but you be bringing it up like a lot. I don't know why. I mean, like, have you like, I guess like cheated in the past or what?
Only people that have problem with that are like cheaters. Do you have a problem with that?
No, I don't like I'm cheat at all, but still, it's just like crazy. Like, every like time you just like bring it up.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but it seems
You
like
do know what I'm
no, I
talking
don't.
about.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it
Why?
seems like it
And I
seems
wish that
like
B Souls he was here right now, because if right now he was here, he would for sure back me up.
yeah,
Also, like Damo too, and if Damo was
yeah.
here too, they would back me up
I mean,
on it.
clearly though, it's a relevant subject matter. People do cheat. We see it with
Yeah,
Sharpe.
true.
Yeah,
I mean, but like you be like just joking about it too much.
it's not a joke.
That's it.
I think it's a serious matter. I don't want people to actively do that, but apparently they be doing that. I.e., Sherrone Moore.
Yeah, I guess, but still, it's just, and especially like on the pod, it's just like you're just like,
Am I hurting your like conscience? Is that it?
nah,
You got a guilty
not really.
conscience?
Look, it's just like sometimes on the pod, I'll be
Okay.
watching your pod, and then sometimes you'll be like, you know what, man, sometimes with the girl, she like, you
Let,
just, you
let me ask you
just,
this. Let me ask
just
you this.
gotta cheat on her,
Let me ask you
sometimes.
this. Did you recently get cheated on?
No, but man, I didn't want to like, expose, and I have like, I guess in the
Man, he broke up. He broke up right when he was about to say he was cheating. No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
okay, so pretty much back in high school, and I did cheat on this girl one time. So that's it. Okay, but nothing else. But the
Was it
thing is,
worth?
like, I
Was it
am
worth
not a
it?
cheater, huh?
Was it worth it? If it was
Low key,
fire, yeah, it was worth
low
it.
key, low key, and that's all I gotta say.
Wow. All right, Ricky, we're gonna see you later, man. We're gonna see you later.
All right, man. Peace.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. That's insane. Yo, it's your boy.
Okay. You hear me now? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Am I clear?
Wait, speak some more.
Am I coming in clear?
I think he's still clipping a little bit, but what did you have?
I also want to talk about that. That's also want to talk about that stream award stuff, man. The controversy was crazy, gang. Like the worst thing I thought by far, other than obviously that pick Misha ass bitch over there. Tyler was wild for that. And you could be considered Will Smith levels type cucking yourself out like that. I understand riding for your bro gang, but can you have done that shit off camera? I mean, It ain't it don't take 5 seconds to pull the girl aside and be like, "Yo, I felt that was mad disrespectful."
I wonder
What
why.
you trying?
I do wonder why she gave him the mic though.
I also think that, but at the same time, like that's the kind of stuff that like get them racist white folk a reason to talk shit about the black community. And you say we can't take those nowhere.
They were gonna talk about this either way. So hey, be you.
And look here, don't be the reason for your own downfall. Because I mean, like, one, I'm gonna be real. I wanted Lily talk to Tyler right then and there. Say, bro, one, that dude not your Kai your homie. He not your bitch. You not his daddy. Understand? Stand up for him. But he a grown man. He can speak about his own behalf. He don't. What is you inserting yourself and trying to what throw off everything and whatnot and what he got going on. Gonna post to solve other than make you just seem like an asshole.
I mean, I disagree, but
and also I heard like somebody who was there saying one of them or whatnot was one to say all kind of was in the restroom or whatnot, said they wanted to just do all kind of things to her that shit after that. So niggas took that shit to like from a 3 to a goddamn 10.
I think you should go back and listen to that situation and how it went down before you
over just bad jokes. If it's bad jokes, then just let the hoes bomb. They gonna say to make mediocrity about themselves, but what you crashing out over just words for?
It's an interesting POV.
I'm just saying. I mean, if we start crashing out over just words, gang, we ain't no point of cracking jokes about nothing because at some point, and I can see what those dudes were saying. You on Kai wanting to be an actor at some point. I can see on both sides. I'm neutral on that sense, right? Because they have a point with the sense you got like people when you think of the Island Boys when influencers want to be rappers, and it turns out we get crap like that. But it's also people want to pursue life as an adventure. People want to pursue anything they felt the need to go after. You shouldn't like let that hinder yourself or be afraid, as you say, to fail. You understand what I'm saying?
No. We on the same side there. We on the same side.
Yeah, it's just it's also. I mean, then again, you would also get people like Six Red, and we don't even want to talk about that level of lack of rapping. So you take care, man. That's all I really gotta say.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got one more person backstage. Nelson, how you doing today?
Oh shit, what's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
I kind of just joined. I don't know if there was like a specific topic, but I was I was talking to my friend the other day, specifically about like the Clover Boys, and maybe it's just me, maybe I can't remember, but I don't know if in like recent history there hasn't been like a more problematic like content group. Is it just me? Because like I've seen on TikTok, on Instagram a lot that like recently a lot of people are coming for the Clover Boys, but I started thinking about it. I'm like, these niggas have kind of done a lot within recent years. I wouldn't say it's not warranted, but like, are we being honest about this group for real? You
I'll
feel
say
me?
this. I think that to answer that question off top, like, has there been a more problematic group? It probably so. Like, and I'm not
I
saying
mean,
that.
just in recent years,
Yeah,
but
okay,
yeah,
in
obviously, yeah.
recent time. Um, nah, probably not in quote unquote recent time, but also when I think about like groups, I think that there's been a lack of groups in recent times. So I don't know if
Yeah.
like yeah, I don't know why people haven't been starting more group channels. I do find it interesting. I don't know why. I kind of know why, but I don't know why at the same time. And then as far as people coming for them, I have mixed things about people quote unquote coming for the Clover Boys. I get that there's levels of constructive criticism. PR is cooked. You gotta just display yourself better and this, that, and the third. control emotions, all those things like that. Then on the other side, though, there are people that are trying to get it off just because they can get it off. There are people that are trying to really hammer a point home just because they can hammer a point home, and some of it is very, very much targeted. Like the other day, Rakai even talked about he's getting reported, like he's getting his streams clapped on YouTube because he's getting like reported over and over and over and over and over again. Mass reportings. And that don't got nothing to do with what he's physically doing on stream. Like he could be playing Fortnite and they'll report him for harassment and bullying. So some of this is there's some targeting going on as well that people aren't talking about.
No, absolutely. But I don't know. I think it may just be my take on the matter. I don't want to say it, but I think in a few years we're gonna look back on like the whole Clover Boy situation and just be like, yeah, Kai, I think you could have just stuck with AMP. Do your solo streams and just keep it pushing, because the amount of like incidents that come out of this group, like from now it seems like on a monthly basis, I just don't think it was worth it.
But so let me ask you this: like, why do you inherently tie them together?
As in like the Clover Boys and Kai,
Yeah,
because he consistently brings them on his platform. All the Mafia thons they've been on, and they constantly make appearances on his stream, and they always have these incidents of like, Ray's racist behavior, Rakai and his stunts and stuff. But it seems like from his perspective, that just doesn't faze him.
but I would,
Like, that doesn't stop him from bringing them on.
I was gonna say, I think that, I mean, he's spoken out about those things and talk down, not down, but like, try to hold them accountable for those things. But I'm saying that like, it almost seems as if he's being held accountable for their actions in that regard, which I don't think that I understand.
You're saying like he shouldn't be held accountable for their actions?
Yeah, why is Kai being held accountable for I don't know, Reggie jaywalking? Why is he held accountable for that?
I guess the only thing I could say is more so he's handpicked these people. Like he went to, I forgot where he found Ray from. He went
Taiwan?
there, yeah, met him and decided, hey, I'm going to bring this guy on my platform. I'm going to help him get his visa, things of that nature. And I'm going to platform him as much as possible. Like even with the recent incidents of like Rakai and his situations, like you've seen multiple times him do something where and Kai has like a quote unquote talk with him or talk with his mom, and he does another thing, and Kai is like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, there's really no helping him. But as soon as another stream pops up, there's Rakai.
But I'm saying if I bring you onto my streams, or if I put you on, like you, Nelson, if I put Nelson onto a streaming game or whatever, and you jaywalk, how is that my fault?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't. I'm not necessarily saying that that specific action is your fault, but if you continuously know that I do stuff that could harm my platform and your platform, at what point do I'm like, well, you kind of barked the guy here?
Do you think that it's harming Kai's image?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay,
But that's all I had to really say.
Nelson, we appreciate you.
Thanks, bro. Have a good night.
You too. Yo, is this a Playboy Cardi profile picture?
Yeah, this is back in the day. Back in the day. Chill.
Young Jordan. Okay.
I'm only 19. Relax.
You know nothing about this Playboy Cardi from this picture.
That's cap. Come on, relax.
Yeah. Okay. What were you gonna say?
I want to talk about the professionalism like conversation, because I honestly feel like a lot of it is really, really arbitrary. And we really got to look at who is deciding what is and what's not professionalism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can agree. Like, I agree with a decent portion of the professionalism pushback. Who creates it, who benefits from it, what the purpose of it was in its inception. I am not like a pusher backer on any of that. I do believe that there are boundaries and levels, though. Let me ask you this: Do you think that some of that teacher bay stuff from earlier this year, where she was calling herself Teacher Bay and had these tight skirts on, these leather skirts on with a little bit of mesh on it, you thought that stuff was inappropriate, right?
100%. That's 100% appropriate.
And I mean, ultimately, I guess you make the lines and the decisions, but that stuff right there is that's inappropriate without even having to have the conversation. And I do think that certain people are held to higher standards. It is what it is. That's just a responsibility that comes with certain things. There are reasons why government officials don't have social media platforms. I didn't kick them off. But at the end of the day, like, nah, it's okay to have professional standards for certain things. We understand when they're unrealistic. We understand when they're discriminatory. We understand when they're backed in racism. But that does not mean that we can't have professional standards and hold people accountable for that. Shouts out to Kristen Fields. Oh, hold on. Gosh, can't wait to get the new setup in. Shouts out to Kristen Fields for $5. Says, Omar, be real. I don't know. I'm reading it like that. Omar, be real. Tahlil was out of pocket for that. If Kai didn't feel the need to press her about it, sit your YN attention-seeking self down. I mean, this is what I'll say. The go to bat to the level I probably wouldn't do. YN attention-seeking is a lot. But especially based on listening to Cutie Cinderella, the host of the show, that Wednesday on her podcast, that's the type of stuff she wants, at least in this iteration and past iterations of the Streamer Awards. She said, I want streamers to be streamers. I want the big, out over the top, crazy moments. That's what I want. So if that's the case, I don't know. I expected Tahlil to do the same thing. I expect Tahlil to do that same exact thing, if that's what she asked for. Then Kristen follows up by saying, then she crazy herself. Yeah, I get it, but it's a streamer award show, so you want the streamers to do the crazy things because that's what you want. Like in you want that to be your stream. That makes your stream better. I wouldn't want. I mean, it always depends on the event. But then I would ask, why are you making this a streamer event if you're gonna have these types of restrictions and stuff on it? But that's what she wanted, gang. That's exactly what she wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, you know my body. I'm not gonna be on here for long. I appreciate everyone for showing up and showing out. This time I actually am gonna leave the live stream up. Change it back to that Sherrone Moore title and thumbnail. That guy's a bozo. He's so I appreciate Kristen Fields for dropping off some love right there with the $5 super chat. I also appreciate Facials 75 for becoming a member. Please join the membership program. You're gonna get exclusive content. That is fantastic and phenomenal. All gas, no brakes towards the end of the year, man. We're trying to show up and show out. But until next time, I think I got a video coming out tomorrow. I think I'm gonna try to record something tonight and then get it out tomorrow. I gotta move my setup though. So I appreciate everybody for showing up and showing out. Till next time. Bye guys.